Good morning. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and it is time to commence. Sorry about this New York weather, but we are but glad to have you all here. On behalf of the Board of Directors of CECP, our now more than 200 CECP partner companies, and the CECP staff, I am delighted to welcome you here to the Time Warner Center for the 12th CECP Summit. So give yourselves a round of applause for making it here and the rest. We are honored that you all have taken time out of your hectic, busy schedules to join us here for the next couple of days. We know how many obligations that you all have, how many things that you are doing, and we are really very pleased that you have found the time to join us here. And we are excited that not only do we have a full house, we're capacity in terms of registrants, we had to turn a few people away this year, but that we also have a power-packed agenda that I think you'll experience here over the next couple of days. And it's an agenda that was built on our learning from last year, as well as our interactions with companies from the past year. So we do welcome you, and I hope you enjoy the next couple of days. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, without whom the quality of this event would simply just not be possible. So to our sponsors from Allstate Foundation, Bank of America, Citi, GE, KPMG, Newman's Own Foundation, PwC, State Farm, Target, Travelers, UPS, and Voya Financial, formerly part of ING. Thank you. We really appreciate your support. And if and as you see people from these companies over the next few days, please thank them as well. The theme of this year's meeting is what counts? And what counts is one of those phrases. There's no punctuation associated, no space, in fact, between the letters. But one of the things that, what counts is one of those phrases that means different things to different people at different times. To some people, what counts is what you can count, right? Anybody know people like that? And we'll share some of the information about that. It's the data, it's the information. To others, what counts are the things that are really important to them. What counts in the world? To themselves, to their families, to their communities, to their companies, to the broader world. Another dimension of kind of what counts. And for still others, the notion of what counts is a bit about what counts, but on whom you can count. Those relationships, those organizations, those people that can help you advance your priorities. And today we are delighted to have a pretty amazing group of companies and people that do count. Right? So take a look at this list. This is a list of the companies that are here gathered today. I'd like if, how many people here have a corporate, consider themselves either part of a corporate foundation or a company? Raise your hand. Of course, that makes sense because that's who's supposed to be here. There's a lot of sessions and meetings in this space, but one of the things we believe is to really help the leading companies of the world, and you are certainly the leading companies of the world, to really have a community so that we can help and support each other. That's what CECP is and has been all about. I'd also at this point like to ask any companies, and we've had a bunch of new companies join CECP over the past year. If you're a new company to CECP, please rise. Please stand. You don't have to stay up. Come on, let's go. We know who you are. All right, we have a number of companies. Let's give those guys, stay standing, stay up. So welcome to those. If you are new to, if your company's been part of CECP, but it's your first summit, please stand. The other guys keep going. Okay, a lot of new folks. Okay, great new faces. Okay, good. Let's welcome those guys as well. And finally, stay up, stay up. And then finally, for the veterans who just wanted more, they had to come back for more and more of the summit. Would you all please rise? This should take care of about everybody here. Well, welcome to you all. Please sit. In total, we had about 290 people. We kind of cut off registration at that. We'll have about 250 per session. Some will show up, these latecomers right now. But we're starting on time here. You got the train's running. So we're going to have that. We've counted and estimated about 5,000 years of experience in the room, in the nonprofit and the corporate world. And that's before Charlie Moore gets here. And me. So we have a lot of experience here and knowledge that's around this group, and it is really a community of folks. In addition, we'll have some 65 speakers over the next couple of days. A student to faculty ratio, if you will, right, of like 4.5 to 1. And we really would ask that you really engage with those speakers and have conversations and discussions so that we can really create and connect and bring this community together. Beyond the impressive group that is here individually are the companies that you all work and represent. If you were to tally the revenues, the sales of your companies, it would equal about $6 trillion with a T dollars. Now, for a lot of people, that means a lot of zeros, right? But as a relative, if you look at country sales, GDP of a country, so how much economic of a company would have, the biggest in the world, economy in the world is what country? U.S., about 16 trillion. Number 2? China, somewhere between 8 and 10 trillion. No one's quite sure. They haven't had KPMG in there yet to get those numbers audited. Third, CECP companies. That's how big this group is in this room today. Japan would probably be 4th, followed by Germany. Just a sense of the scale that is in this room today. From our count, north of 10 million employees direct, as well as many others in your supply chain and your customer bases. And when you look at your annual giving from 2 years ago, Michael will give you new data in a bit, what I call societal investment, what you're investing in your community and back in society, that number across the companies in this room today, about $15 billion. That would make you all a Fortune 200 company in what you're contributing back to society. Somewhere between Gap and Kellogg's or Land O'Lakes, all invested back. That kind of counts, right? That counts. That gives you scale. But it only works if we can turn that investment into really make that work for our companies and for society. And that's kind of what our theme is here, and how do we make that investment, those numbers that count, into an impact in society and our companies that count. As a former CEO, I've had the great privilege over the last year and a half, year and a few months, of really meeting with many of you, with your CEOs, executives at your companies, experts in the field, and have learned a few things. First of all, you all in this room are at the nexus, right? That intersection between where society and business comes together. And sometimes they are a little further apart than they should be, but you all bring that together. In being in that nexus also creates some challenges, right? You have sort of the nonprofit world who figures you're part of that corporate machine, but you might have some money, right? And then you have those corporate folks, any CFOs out there who think you're part of the nonprofit world and you really don't know what business is all about. Anybody feel those from time to time? Well, my sense, and having been a CEO of publicly traded companies, is actually you are right where big companies need to be, which is they must be socially responsible today. If they're not, it isn't going to last long. If they are, they have a great opportunity to grow and to prosper. The job of business has been, is, and always will be to meet the unmet needs of society. Ultimately, that will be done for a profit. And what we hope to do here is not a lot of preaching, but about done with that, but a lot about providing you those practical skills and tools and relationships that can help you be successful. If you think about this group and area, the amount of your influence in a company over the last 10 or 15 years, on average, has increased significantly. And my guess, over the next 10 or 15 years, that will grow even greater. Right? Because companies are really good in the transactional stuff, right? Your suppliers and your customers, but it's all those communities that surround you and broader society where you all can play such an important and a critical role. And our job at CECP and with this community is to help you to do that, to help you be successful in those areas. Make sense? And that's what we'll do over the next couple of days. We want to provide you the support network. You see it here, CECP and your associates. We want to provide you with the know-how, the tools to really be successful as you move forward, and what I call the 4 I's, all right? And that's a lot of what we'll be talking about here today. First is about providing you with the information from our panels, the insights and the ideas that you can bring back. And I hope everybody picks up several that they can bring back to their companies over the next few days from the panels we have. The second area, and very important, is the interactions. right? The networking, the connections that you can make. This is a new field that is still growing and building. It's important that you connect with others who are in your space. Anybody out there have a big challenge or problem that they're trying to wrestle with right now? Raise your hand. Come on. Come on. Yeah. I guarantee someone else in this room has faced something similar to it. Might not have worked, but at least they know what they've kind of done. Tap into this network and this group, and the team at CECP knows other people who've gone through those and can help you to do that. The third area is impact, and that's an important aspect of what we're trying to do. Getting that information, but can we make a difference? Can we make a difference in the world? And I think you'll hear today with our Excellence Award winners, companies like Cargill in Africa, PG&E in Northern California with Habitat for Humanity, Direct Relief working with FedEx on getting products to the right places when people are in difficult situations, and the work that they're doing at CVS. Great examples of companies making an impact in society. And we're going to give you a chance to share yours in a few minutes as well. In addition, impact's about individual and personal impact. And we want to give you some of the tools that can help you do that. We have a number of great CEOs who will be speaking, and how you can connect with CEOs. And they'll share what they've learned and how they can see good results, as well as a lot of the other speakers. In fact, our first speaker is going to help you on that tremendously as well. So giving you some of those areas. And then the other area that I think is important to impact is the powerful impact that what you all are doing can have on your companies. And that is becoming crystal clear over the last year. Seen that as we've talked to companies throughout, that by getting your organization involved around the purpose of your company, by getting people involved in how they can make a difference in their communities and society, you can engage employees better. Terrific results we've seen from United Health Group and PwC. Great stuff. We're also seeing that people are building their brands by being able to be connected with society. IBM shared with me last week, they're getting an ROI of 300% on their corporate citizenship investment. Right? They're investing back in the communities. The number one media stories at IBM now come from corporate citizenship. Beats any of their divisions. Really kind of a remarkable achievement. And companies are also opening new markets and new opportunities because they're meeting the needs that are unmet. And that's going to create new opportunities for the future. Investments like Coke is making in Africa and other places. Another area companies are seeing is they can help manage risk. I can guarantee when you have a company with millions of people working for, or hundreds of thousands or thousands, somebody somewhere does something wrong. It just happens. We're going to have on later this afternoon David Stern. He's the Commissioner Emeritus of the National Basketball Association, 30 years at the NBA. Talk about a group, you have a bunch of your product, your great players are 20-something millionaires. Right? Imagine all the things we did when we were in our early 20s. Some of you I know still are. And imagine if you also had a few $1 million at the same time. How much, But occasionally that happens. They also apparently have some 80-year-old billionaires who own the teams who say some stupid things. And yet the NBA and their NBA Cares program, as David Stern will talk about, that helped de-risk it. The NBA didn't get tarnished because they were kind of above the fray because they were doing good things and people could really believe in what they were up to. All right. So, good examples there. The other is we're seeing increasing evidence that companies that are responsible will perform better, create greater value for their various stakeholders over the long haul than companies that are irresponsible. Kind of makes sense? But these investments can return and pay back. All right. Last area we also want to do is provide you with some inspiration. I think you'll hear some inspirational speakers. We are also inspired by Paul Newman, our founder here at CECP, and we are inspired by the people here in this room. The companies that work with us, the people who are on the front line working day in and day out. With this in mind, we'd like to kind of get a little inspiration from you all in terms of what counts to you. And we're going to have our first polling question. In the middle of your tables, you will see, please pan those out. This is fairly straightforward. We'll set you a bunch of things that what counts. You're going to pick one of those in a bit. You will press the number that corresponds with the choice. You will then see a receive visual confirmation. No need to push send or anything else like that. Make sense? So here's a set. These questions came from past work that we have done at CECP. But what counts to you? What most? These may all matter, and every one will be addressed over the next couple of days. But what's that one thing that matters and counts most to you? So take a look at those, read through them, push on your button. We'll start the count here in a couple of seconds. But is it networking, number one, data, celebrating success, increasing impact, new ideas, improving personal influence, or engaging skills? The countdown has started. All right, and let's see the results. Wow, number 4, increasing impact and measurement. All right, is big, improved with new ideas and strategies. There are lots of opportunities for you over the next few days to understand that impact and measurement. One area this afternoon, I think at 2 o'clock, Michael Stroik from CECP will present the latest survey results. We appreciate everybody who completed those. Also this afternoon at 2:45, there was a session on the impact of emerging investment models. A lot of good work that's being done. And then tomorrow morning, we'll have a session on goal setting for greater results. So all good examples about increasing impact. New ideas and strategies I think you'll get throughout the next few days. But tomorrow, Kennedy Obidi will talk about shining hope for communities. We'll also hear from what counts at Walmart, the biggest company in the world, and some of the things that they are doing, and how kind of storytelling can really help to facilitate change. So I think you'll see those ideas throughout, but all good examples of how you can pick up those new ideas and strategies for your businesses and for yourselves. We also have made a few changes for this year's program. First of all, more networking and strategic networking like we had this morning around industry. At lunch today will be around employee engagement. Lots of different ways that you can connect with folks. We know it's a powerful part of what these sessions are about. In addition, Ryan, our friend over here, is going to be, with Ink Factory, is going to be kind of illustrating what we go through here over the next couple of days. A powerful way for us to kind of understand what we're seeing. We'll also have it on video. There'll be written versions as well for that. Third, Serious Fun, part of the Paul Newman Group, which is an umbrella organization for camps for kids who are suffering through some difficulties. We'll be here for on-site service. We'll have a breakout this afternoon where you can pack bags for the kids. And also in the East-West room, there's an opportunity to write in the journal that we can share with these kids. These are kids who have been dealt a bad break in life, and how we can help and make that a little bit better. This afternoon, we'll have the Excellence Awards. That'll be in the Park Cafe this year. Great opportunity for everybody to get together. The drinks are on me. And enjoy that session. And then finally, our speakers are going to be much more kind of TED Talkian, if you will, but shorter speeches, so we can, including myself here, so that we can get through a number of them and give you some good inspirational thoughts and ideas.